folks, and welcome to Subjective Thoughts. And our comic for today is Neverwhere, issue 5 by Vertigo. Now, there is a bit of fighting and quite a fair bit of weird shit in this one, so if you are in any way squeamish, you have been warned. Also, spoilers. Alright, here's the team. So, when we left off, Dor, Richard, the Marquise de Carabas, and Hunter in issue 4, they arrived at the Earl's court. Dor needs his help to get to the Angel Ilsington, and he knows a way. So they were in the and he's in the his court is on a moving train. Now, of course, since it's part of the world below, no one knows about it or can access it, except the people from below. So we start this issue with them inside the court. Richard's talking about the Earl's soldiers. Now, they got the helmets with what it looks like they have fake noses, he calls it. So the guards are like threatening them. State your business. What do you want here with the court? And Dor starts. I am the Lady Dor of House of Partico, and these are these are my people. They're under my protection. We're here. And then the Earl stands up and he's like, Dor, like little Dor. He knows her. He was a good friend of her dad's. So he gets up, and Richard comments on how you could see that it's difficult for him, and how it was probably a very great man in the past. This is him, by the way, here. Except he's missing the eye patch that he has. So he gets up, he's like, Dor, and he hugs her, of course, you're welcome, and all of your people are welcome. And then he sees the Marquise de Carabas, who takes a drink of wine. And then as the Earl yells his name, he spits it out. And he's like, the Earl, it's been some time, you look well. And he's like, look, well, I lost my right eye because of you. And the Marquise de Carabas is like, oh, I was sure it was the left. And you need to restock your wine cellars, because this tastes like cat piss. And then the Dor tries to, of course, tell him, please, Earl, the Marquise is in my service. And he tells Dor, please, lady, do not ask me this, I can't. And he tells his guards, whoever brings him to me, kills him, we'll get coins, I think, not a paper like I thought last time. So the Marquise de Carabas is ambushed by the guards. And before that, he tells the Lady Dor, well, it looks like I'll be more of service to you if I am elsewhere. I will catch up with you in the next market, he tells her. Then they ambush him. He just push them away. And then he runs on the long table that's in the Earl's, courtroom, where they all eat and have feasts. And as he starts running, all the glasses break, like wine glasses, bottles, everything starts to break. And he goes through this big, pretty glass window. But as he goes outside, it's like a little window of a train. But that's it. He jumps out, lands safely, and the Earl's like a light-footed bastard. And then he tells Dor, forgive an old man his temper, my lady. And then his gesture makes a joke, and then he kind of helps the Earl back to his throne a little bit. And then he asks, well, what can I do for you, Lady Dor? Do you want protection? You want to be under my protection? And he also tells her, I'm, sorry about your father, your family, your loss. And she said, no, I've heard that you have a way to get to the angel Ilsington. I need to get to him. That's what I need your help for. Also tells her about his her father, how he was the great man and he had all these ideas. And the Earl told him, I'm too old for all of this. You should talk to the Angel Ilsington. And so that is it. And that's what Dora needs. And then let me check. Oh, okay. Let's check ahead a bit. Hmm. Just a moment. Okay. Then we move on to the Marquis de Carabas. He's up in London above, and he goes to the bird guy that he gave the box to guard in issue 2. And the bird guy's the birdman's not happy to see him. I always forget his name, and I don't think I would know how to pronounce it properly. But anyway, he tells him, he's like, "Did you come back to take, the box?" They said, "No, hold on to it." He brings him a statue of the Beast of London from Lord Pertico's study. That's what he took that away with him, and he asked him, do you know who made this? And the Birdman's like, no, but I know this is. I think that's the beast that Richard will end up fighting, because it looks quite like it. I think. Oh, it's a bit of a spoiler, but yeah, actually not. He saw the last issue. He's gonna fight it. So I think that might be that one. But anyway, he takes it back, and then he gives the Birdman some money, and he tells him, "Go buy me this porcelain, I think, statue or something, and then bring it to my place, to his lodgings." I think he said, and you'll be paid very well, and so by me and by I think the guy he's gonna buy the porcelain from. And Birdman asked him, "Okay, but what about the box?" And again, he says, "Keep it at hand. I think I will need it shortly." Then we go back to Dor. She follows the Earl into his library, but as he tells her, "Your warrior and your fool have to stay here." Poor Richard. So they are inside. What Dor needs, I forgot to mention, he tells her she needs the Angelos in order to get to the Angel Ilsington. And she says, "Oh, do you have the Angelos?" As they go inside the library and says, "Oh, lords, no, I do not have it. But I have a map that can show you where it is. It leads you there." And he's digging through, and again, he talks to him about the ideas. And then he hands her the map, because everything that gets left on the train is then belongs to the Earl. That's his ability. Like Dor's family's ability was to be able to open doors everywhere. So that he gives it to her, and then he says, "Ah, good old Lord Portico. Did you know him?" I feel like he's already quite old and a bit forgetful. Because they seem to have forgotten that that's his daughter. I don't know, it's like a moment of my guy. This is his daughter. Yeah. Anyway, that's it. Then we go outside of the library, and the fool is the gesture. Sorry, the Earl's gesture is making jokes, asking Richard for his name. Richard gives it to him. Then he makes more jests at Hunter, And I think he implies that, maybe she's a hooker or something. Because then she tells him, I'm Hunter. And she looks at him and he gloops and just, shuts up. Then Dor exits the Earl's library and she says the Earl will stop the train for us at the British Museum station. And then that's it. They arrive at the station. No, I think before that, Richard asked, does the British Museum even have a train station? So they stop there, it indeed does, and he says and Dor tells him it has been forgotten by London above, and so it became part of London below. So now there is one, but I guess only the Earl's train can get to it, really. So they exit. I mean, they go up. Lady Door, not sorry. Hunter says that with her contract she can only protect Door as long as she's in London below. So Door tells her, "It's fine, Hunter. You wait here for us. We'll be back shortly." Then Richard said, "Well, it looks like some parts of London above eventually become parts of London below, or the two worlds are combined." And she said, "I like to think that they're the same, and sometimes we receive gifts from London above, or all these forgotten things go to London below." Anyway, they reach the door, but it's locked. And he's like, "Well," Richard said, "looks like we're gonna have to go back." And then she tells him, "You forgot my family has a sympathy with doors. That's why I'm named Door." And she sticks her fingers in the lock and it opens. And then they're at the closed gallery viewing. And then Richard remembers. He knows what this is because he was on the guest list. This is where Jess works, his fiance, or ex-fiance, I guess, would be more accurate. And then they're looking around. There's Jess, and Richard's like, "I think we should come back another time." She says, and Dor tells him, "Oh, Richard, no one's going to see us. It's fine. We'll just, we'll just go around." She's like, "Oh, look, food." As she goes to eat and drink, and Richard's like, "It's easy for you to say, you have nothing to avoid here," like he does. And then he comes face to face with Jess. She's wearing a pretty dress, her hair's done. And then she bumps into him and she said, "Oh, I'm sorry, do we know each other?" And he looks at her and said, "Yes, but you won't remember as soon as I turn my back. My name is Richard Mayu, and I'm your fiance." And then he hugs her and says, I'm doing whatever I can to come back to you, Jess." And Jess like looking at him all awkwardly. She's like, "Oh, lovely. That's because obviously she doesn't remember who he is." Then he lets her go, and then she moves on. And meanwhile, Dora is like walking around while this is happening, and then she notices like the exhibition inside that the guests haven't come in yet too. And she starts going around and touching all the. It's a whole exhibition of angel statues, paintings, slabs, everything. So she starts wandering around there, touching things. Then Richard like stands there looking, and then he bumps into Mr. Vandermeer. Uh-oh. And it is Crop, I think Crop. Uh-oh, poor Richard. He bumps into them, and Mr. Mayu, we were looking for you. And Mr. Vandermeer like grabs and starts listening. He's like, "You can't do this here. There's all these people." And Mr. Crop tells him, "But Mr. Richard, they're not going to notice a thing while we do this to you. They're not even going to look." And then Mr. Vandermeer's holding him, and Mr. Crop approaches him with his, I think razor would be an old fashioned razor. And he brings it to him. He's about to start slicing his neck, but then Jessica announced Mr. stock turn is coming, and he would like to give a speech, and so people start moving, and two men are talking like, "Oh, great, another speech." And second man said, "Oh, don't worry, stock turns the self-made man is gonna keep this short." And because they're moving, they're bumping into the three of them, and thus Richard gets an opportunity to escape. So he starts to move away and starts to run. Mr. Vanderveer, like gets angry, is about to grab him, but doesn't make it. And then Dor yells to Richard as the crowd goes into the exhibition room, "Richard, over here. Uh, when I touched this here, something started to happen. Quick, take my hand." So he runs towards her. Mr. Krop and Mr. Vandermeer are like right behind. But then Dor touches the. It's a slab. It's a gray slab. Also some kind of depiction of angel. And she and Richard start to light up in gray colors. And that's it. They disappear. It would seem. Both of them disappear, escaping Mr. Vandermeer and Mr. Kropp. Okay, just check. Mr. Vandermeer has this crazy look in his eyes. That one's, well, they both like fucking killing and murdering, but he's particularly vicious, I feel like. Yeah, they both kind of, they light in white, gray, and they disappear. Okay, just check. Okay. Then we move to the Marquis de Carabas. He is in some tunnels, probably in London below. He's walking and he lights a match and he sees the like medicine symbol, you know, the two snakes. And he talks about the symbolisms and that his patron is another one. I just don't know these very well, but yeah, he keeps going in the darkness. And then and we go on to Dor and Richard. They're wherever they are. There's everything's white around them. They seem to be on this like statue almost, as a white statue. And Richard's like, "Dor, don't let me go. I'm falling." He's hanging over the edge. And Dor's like, "Don't worry, Richard. I got you. Let's get away from the edge." And he says, "Oh, I'm sorry, Dor. I have a fear of heights." So she pulls him up and they start walking. And Richard's like, did we did we get to the wrong place? And Dora's like, "No, I feel we're in the right place. This is it." And Richard's like, "Well, I don't see any angels anywhere." And then a voice says, "Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Or was it, they say Richard? Or Mr. Mayu? I think maybe the angel said Mr. Mayu. Sometimes I lose here I lose the track of time and perception and scale." And then they look up and they're where they are, they're on the finger, like here. They're okay, so there's the hand of the angel, and they're like on this part of the finger over here. And that's where they're both standing. And then they look up, and huge faces looking at them with big blue eyes that have, and his pupils are two triangles. It's quite freaky. But I'm gonna guess this is the angel Ilsington. Anyway, yeah, they're like, "Oh." Then we move on again. Then we move on to Mr. Vandermeer and Mr. Kropp. They're walking like, disappointed. They didn't get Richard Mayu and didn't get Dor. And Mr. Vandermeer's like, "I hate when the persons I'm gonna rip the heads off of are disappear." And Mr. Kropp says head, what as in one person, because they're supposed to keep Dor alive. And then they start talking about Mr. Cops, like, and metaphorically, he's telling him about how, still killing, it's like a dessert, because you can have the whole meal and never touch the dessert. And then, but they say, next time we do encounter them, I would like a few, I guess a taste maybe means of the lady door. And Mr. Vandermeer is like, yeah, and I'd like a few bites. And then as they enter, I assume their room, their office, Mr. Kropp says, yes, but I mean it metaphorically, Mr. Vandermeer. And then he looks at like, and the Marquise de Carabas is sitting there in the chair, and he says, I think it was time I talked to you gentlemen personally. And that's it. To be continued. Okay, so first the cover here. So yeah, this is the Earl, but again, for some reason the cover artist didn't draw the eye patch on him. Maybe it's depicting him in his younger days a bit. I don't know. This is Hunter, the warrior lady. Some reason her hair looks quite short in here. And also, interestingly, in the last issue, the face paint on her was like greenish, and this time it's gold. I wonder if it was just like a coloring thing. I don't know, it's quite odd because I'm certain it was like more green, and now this time it's gold. Anyway, but still, these are really cool covers, even though some of them don't make so much sense, I guess. Right, let's go on to the art. So yeah, this is the Earl. He's quite a big guy. This is the Marquise de Carabas. You can see the escapes the men, the guards. And then this is a really cool transition. He's jumping out of, here's a big window. Oh wait, let me hold it like that. And here's a big window, and then he jumps out. It's like the smaller window of a train carriage. Let me show you some of the... Okay, and this is the gesture. There we go. Okay. And this is the Birdman. Over here, and this is that statue, the Beast of London. Okay. I'll show you the party. Let's see, there's Jessica. Okay, and I gotta show you Elsington the Angel at least. Second. Oh, yeah, look at this cool effect where you see they're like disappearing into the slab. Okay, let me just show you the angel. See? Or like on the tip there of his finger. Not on the tip, but like here at the what would that be? No, not the knuckle, right? No. Oh yeah, there. And look at that. Look at those pupils, man. That's fucking freaky. Well, he's an angel, so I guess he's neither man nor woman, but I'll just refer to him as a man. Yeah, that's Ilsington. Freaky. Freaky pupils, I mean. Oop. Okay. So, more great story progression. Things are getting more and more complicated. Also, we got some splitting up in this one with the Marquise de Carabas. Now, it does kind of seem like, oh, was the Marquise, is he the one who, did all this? Did he hire Mr. Vandermeer and Mr. Kropp? But no, because I remember in a bit spoilers, but he sticks with the door till the end. And with Richard too, so it's not him. But I don't know why he just went to talk to Mr. Vandermeer and Mr. Kropp, because I imagine that would be quite dangerous, considering who they are. But I guess suppose he has a plan or something that'll keep him safe. Yeah, so things are getting complicated. Interesting why Hunter couldn't go up above with them. Or maybe she just fights only in London below. I don't remember. I know, I know something happened to her when she was gone, so I wonder if that's related to that. I'm not sure, but now the door has found Ilsington. I wonder what's going to happen. I wish I remembered more. I really will need to reread this book again, as I would love to do that. Still, so far, the series is very engaging. The art's good, and the pacing's good too. Also, the these covers are so fucking cool. Great art style. Yeah, up to see what happens next. What will Ilsington do? How will he help them? What will they need to do? Or in this case, what will Dor need to do? Will they come across Mr. Vandermeer and Mr. Crop again? Will the Marquise de Carabas survive his encounter with them? Not encounter, he went and found them himself, but I wonder what's he planning to talk to them about exactly. That is left to be seen. Oh, I'm loving this. Alright, folks, so that is it. Let me know if you've read issue 5 of Neverwhere. And that is it. Remember, collect what you're passionate about and share it on YouTube. Bye!